Hello, I'm FKX Toycat, and I'm sure it's no secret to anyone watching this video that Minecraft Bedrock has its share of problems. From wandering traders spawning far too often, to all of the multitude of bugs that you may face on a daily basis, the truth is Bedrock is always a work in progress, and although there are some really good things in that, there's also a lot of downsides, particularly if you're a speedrunner. In fact, speedrunning on Bedrock is really cramped by a lot of the major techniques that would be so useful just straight up not working on Bedrock and straight up being broken parts of the game. And in today's video, I wanted to bring attention to some of the most annoying examples because there are some really cool techniques that you should be able to do, but you can't do because of something being broken. Like the first example here, which is water, because water is great, right? I mean, it has different colors even. It's such a wonderful thing that allows you to swim upwards if you place it. However, for some reason, I don't know what the reason is, on Bedrock, you cannot, remove the water that you're in if you're kind of within it at the same time. As you can see right here, I'm spamming my displace button, but it will only work once I go outside the water. If I'm inside the water, it won't work on that block again until I'm outside of it, which means if you want to do one of my favorite like water ladder strategies, you have to climb up and then scoop upwards. You have to kind of climb out of the water before placing it upwards again, which is doable. It's entirely possible. It's just very frustrating, and it means climbing blocks using just a water bucket is functionally impossible because it's also inconsistent. You saw at the start here, it actually works sometimes if you're inside the actual source block itself, because again, if you're inside one of the flowing blocks, it won't work. If you're inside the source block, it will. So again, why is that? How is that? I don't know, but it's one of the most annoying Minecraft bugs, but it's not the only Minecraft bug that affects speedrunning, because Lava 2 has the exact same issue. Here are my 16 buckets, and let's say I want to get 16 bits of lava, because that's the thing I want. Then the usual strategy is use a single bucket, then to place it over there, then to go grab another one, just like this, and to place it over there. But notice that right there, I scooped up a bit of lava, but yeah, I didn't pick it up. I'll do the same just over here right now. Like when you pick up bits of lava sometimes, you can see how sometimes you won't actually get the bucket in exchange for it. It's very weird, inconsistent, and frustrating. And yeah, it's something to do with the lava flowing, as best I can tell. But exactly why it happens beyond that is very annoying, frustrating, and inconsistent to say the least. So it means that even though there were 16 bits of lava right here, you can see how once we're done picking up all of it, we're going to end up having just 8 buckets of lava plus the 5 we placed over there. Where did the other 3 lava go? When you are scooping up lava, it's very inconsistent, very strange, and yeah, it means that lava just gets lost because of a weird scooping bug. It just happened there, and yeah, I don't know why Minecraft lava thinks it can scoop sometimes when it can't, but it removes the lava source sometimes, and it's very frustrating when you're trying to make a nether portal. But you know what else is frustrating? If you are, say, like just trying to eat in Minecraft, because we've all got to eat, right? I mean, in the real world, that's true to some extent. I mean, if you know the free freeze rule, you can survive 3 minutes without oxygen, you can survive 3 days without water, and you can survive 3 weeks without food. But let's say that you're not living a life like that. Let's instead say that you've taken some damage that you desperately want to have fixed, and so you start eating some bread. I mean, it seems like the logical thing to do. We gotta do this real quick. Okay, so, okay. That was scary. But like, yeah, so we need to heal up real fast, so we're gonna eat some bread, right? That's a nice, normal, natural thing to do. But sometimes when you're eating bread, or when you're eating anything really, it's just most noticeable bread, you get all the way to the top and then you eat another slice. It doesn't actually take the bread away from you, but it is very annoying that Minecraft will just have this extra kind of eating animation that isn't entirely necessary. And again, you can avoid it by just knowing when you're full and when you're not, but the fact that Minecraft will force you to eat for a little bit when you're full is just a really minor bug to fix, but it's also a very frustrating one when you're panic eating, when you're dealing with something very, big and threatening, and when you don't want to think like, oh yeah, but do I need to eat right now? Or is that just Minecraft telling me? It's not something you want to think about very much, but it's something you have to think about because Minecraft is very strange like that. And yeah, with that said, let's talk about another way Minecraft's very strange. It's to do with lava again. I can't stop thinking about lava because it just doesn't work in the way you would expect in Minecraft. And let's show you a few ways that this is true, because Minecraft lava will burn you in places you really don't expect it. If I jump from here to up there, for instance, you would expect, based on my jump trajectory, if you were to imagine this from third person, that I would not take any fire damage, but as you can see, if I actually do it, I take lava damage regardless. And bear in mind, lava damage lasts significantly longer than fire damage. It's a really serious problem. It's like I jumped fully into lava despite the fact that I didn't. If I stand right here in just the wrong place, it actually sees like, it seems like we're pretty okay for now, but if you stand in just the wrong place, even without touching the lava, you're not fine. But assume that you think that I basically touched lava there, let me show you a much worse problem, which should be better. Bear in mind, right now what I've just done with that is I should have made the lava out of reach, right? There should be no way that I burn on top of this, but for some reason, despite being on top of this slab, I'm still taking damage when I'm going over the side. It doesn't make any sense, and then we're going to double it up with some more damage that we shouldn't be taking over here, and you know what, it sucks all around. No one wants it, and it's a real problem, but thankfully, I could put it out using my water bucket, right? Because you can always put out damage using the water bucket, and sadly, that's not a true thing. Again, speedrunning requires techniques to work all of the time. Things like being able to climb up a ladder, you know, like making your own ladder out of water bucket, very handy. Things like lava working the way that its hitbox implies, very handy. Things like food working, very handy, but one that is frustrating beyond no belief because it's not just a thing that would be handy if it worked, it's a thing that has ended runs, it is a thing that has ended lives, and it's one of the coolest Minecraft strategies that's been enabled ever since they made it so you only need one bucket of water to fall into. Because like you saw right there, I landed in the water, but then the water unscooped itself up, and this is a thing that happens all the time, kind of randomly. So this is called the MLG Water Bucket technique. It's where you place water down, and that time it didn't work. You can see it like took a couple seconds. This time we do it, and it works. Oh, nope, that time it didn't work either. Basically, water randomly decides whether or not it will let you place it, which is, it's not a big frustrating issue right here, but let's imagine a place where it is a big frustrating issue. Let's imagine the Ender Dragon has just hit me, and I want to avoid that damage. Well, you know, even though I placed the water bucket, it's not going to stop me, but we can try that again. It's going to be fine, right? Because, nope, it wasn't fine. The truth is even though this technique works perfectly on the Java edition, and even though it's previously worked perfectly on console and even previous versions of Bedrock, for some reason right now, the MLG Water Bucket technique, the technique that can save lives and allow you to have a second chance at it, just does not work as correctly intended, or at least it doesn't work as would be intuitive. Like, falling into water should work like that, but the way it works right now is it works like that sometimes. As you can see, it worked just fine there. Why is it fine sometimes and not others? It means people actually use hay bales, which deal damage. It means people use twisting vines, which are suboptimal, instead of being able to use Minecraft's most powerful item, and I think that's a real shame personally, but maybe you disagree. Maybe you think, what's all this complaining about? Just because you can't do some fancy pants technique? Well, I don't care about this, and I don't care about speedrunning bugs. And to that I would say, you're watching the wrong video, man. I mean, like, this is a whole video about speedrunning bugs, but here's one that's frustrating not just to random seed speedrunners, but it's also frustrating to anyone who's ever played Minecraft and expects it to work as intended. Because let's say you're going swimming and you're looking for some treasure, you know, like, oh, what's going to be over here? Is it some treasure? Is there going to be some maybe ships that have some maps below? Wow, I sure do love buried treasure, right? Wow, I sure am excited to find some of that buried treasure, right? I mean, I came all this way, about 1,000 blocks, in case you're curious, like way too far, and what we get is a treasure map at the end, and this treasure map points me, you know, it gives me some land, it gives me the sea. It's a very kind of cool thing to look at, and so I'm going to go over there, or I might decide, I don't want to go over there, I'd rather find another treasure map. So I look for a second shipwreck below the ocean, which can take a very long time, especially post 1.16, where they nerfed the generation of these things into the ground. Like, seriously, I traveled 1,000 blocks just to get to the second shipwreck, but once I get here, I can find a different treasure map that'll take me somewhere else, except it looks suspiciously similar to that first one. But I mean, that's probably a coincidence that they look basically the same. I bet they're in entirely different parts of the world, despite having no proof that is the case. You know what, they've got to be in different places, right? Well, I mean, there's only one way to know for sure, and it's to head north into another shipwreck, find another one of these chests, I hope, before we drown, where there is another treasure map, and what's on this? Huh, looks kind of similar too. Well, you know what, there's a fourth treasure map here, and thank God this one is different. Oh wait, it's not. I mean, that sure is a crazy coincidence that all of the maps would look exactly like this spawn area over here. You can see how they all look like this, but I mean, they're in different parts of the map because it's not like 4 different treasure maps could all point to the same place. Nope, every single one of these treasure maps that we got from very different shipwrecks in different parts of the world, in some cases thousands of blocks away, all point to the same buried treasure. Right now, there is a bug in Minecraft, if you could believe it, that means that every single treasure map you will find across your entire world will all point to the same buried treasure. That is an insane bug. It means the entire point of the treasure wreck, you know, the entire point of being able to find these secret maps and going somewhere is something you can do precisely once in your Minecraft world, and it's something you can't even do once if you are far away from your spawn, because they'll always point to the buried treasure map that is closest to your world spawn. That is a broken thing. And I mean, like, again, it's broken for survival players. It's broken for people who want to try something new. But most importantly, it's broken because if you got a speedrun and you find one of these and you think, you know what, I might find some diamonds, might be worth doing, I can't go along with it. And again, admittedly, it's a lot more broken for survival players than speedrunners, but the fact that it's broken for everyone really sucks because it's just such a fundamentally broken mechanic in Minecraft, and it's sad because your treasure maps are basically scraps of paper at that point, and yeah, I really hope they fix this soon, because every treasure map you ever get, they can't be fixed, they can't regenerate those treasure maps, they're forever broken because of a mistake in the current update. But you know, it's fine, because that's the last bug that I'm going to mention today. There's definitely no other issues that Minecraft Bedrock has, right? It's the end of the video. No? Okay, it's not. Because did you know, for whatever bizarre reason, Minecraft Bedrock Strongholds don't always generate fully. So I think Minecraft Bedrock has a really great leg up over Java in that Strongholds try to generate below villages. Again, it gives you like a bit more of a guidance on where they're going to be. But the thing where Minecraft Bedrock fails is it always starts the Stronghold in the same room. It's the same room that your eye offenders will point you towards. But here's the thing about that room. That room, if the generation point for the next room is blocked, that room will just be the end of your stronghold. You can have 1 block size strongholds or 2 block size strongholds or 10 blocks or whatever, which is it's not such a big an issue until you realize that eye offenders will point you there and you won't know there's no stronghold rooms, which is such a common bug. So many strongholds in Minecraft Bedrock don't have the end portal room, which is the one reason to go to strongholds and is the reason that your game spawns you there. Also, I was complaining about wandering trading spawning earlier, and we got one just while I was mentioning that, so there's a fun point that we've been. Just less than 20 minutes, we can get a second one. But yeah, the fact that stronghold rooms are not a thing that generate all the time is a serious bug. I've heard a few people argue it's intentional, that like, oh yeah, it's skill trying to find the good strongholds. No, this just means that speedrunning has a random chance of failing through no fault of your own. There's no gameplay tell that this could happen. Just sometimes Minecraft Bedrock generation breaks, and you can't call it a feature. You can't call all the treasure maps being the same a feature. You can just call that a very, very bad bug, and that's what I'm going to call it right now. As a fun little aside, by the way, did you know you can fall 90 blocks onto hay bales and still have a quarter of your health remaining when you hit the bottom, even with no armor, or in this case we just have leggings, but with no armor that can reduce that fall? I think that's insane personally, and maybe you do too. Basically, any distance you can actually fall can be reduced down to a fraction of what it was, because hay bales are real nice. So the last one here I want to mention because it's not necessarily a bad thing in that it makes the game harder, but it makes the game less consistent, because look at this wither skeleton right here. Sometimes wither skeletons just kind of freeze. I don't know what it is, something to do with crossing a chunk boundary maybe, but the weird thing about wither skeletons is they seem to not entirely understand, what's going on with you, and they seem to freeze on a very regular basis. This is just a core part of their behavior that's been there for so long, and it used to be that way more mobs than just the wither skeleton had it, but still, it's weird to me that any number of mobs just freeze randomly while you're fighting them. It doesn't make any sense that they should do this, and therefore I can assume it's a bug, but it's a bug that, again, will sometimes save your life. It's just that it doesn't always save your life. I think, whether something saves or hurts you, it shouldn't be the only measure of something. Minecraft should be a consistent game with consistent behaviors, and things like Blazes, which I'm standing next to this, he's not angry with me right now. He's not even trying to be angry. He doesn't know what's going on. A lot of Minecraft, and then he, without even getting angry, he just started attacking me. There's some bugs in pretty much every Minecraft mob that is aggressive towards you, and those bugs cause very weird things to happen, and I don't like it. I think Minecraft mobs need to be consistently working. Something as simple as the way that wither skeletons walk, so they're not doing random circles and then stopping every 5 to 10 blocks. Seriously, I can guarantee that between when he is there and here, he's gonna stop, and I know that I don't have to fight him as a result. It's a very weird... Okay, never mind. Also, I seem to have gone the X-ray bug as soon as I woke up today, so I can't really complain too much about that one, but just want to mention that a lot of weird Minecraft Bedrock bugs. We could talk about all of those some other time. They always are making the game better, but I'm talking specifically about speedrunning bugs that need to be fixed urgently, because speedrunning is not just for the small group of players that do it. It's a way of showing how Minecraft can be defeated better, and on that logic, let's actually talk about the bed that we just had, because this is the last big change. I mean, going to sleep is one great use for beds, but on the Java version of the game, something that beds are used very frequently for is for explosions, because in both the Nether and the End, you can explode using beds. This is very useful for netherite mining, as I've shown off before in videos, but also it's useful in the Java version of the game for making the dragon die. To prove this next point, I want you to bear in mind that right now I'm playing on just normal difficulty. I have full Netherite armor, i.e. the best weaponry you can get in Minecraft, and I'm going to place a bed right here underneath the dragon, right there. And what you're going to see is that, interestingly enough, that explosion dealt just that amount of damage, which maybe you say is fair, although it's far less than Java, but it did a huge amount of damage to me as a result. And again, as a result, you cannot use beds to kill the dragon, which I think maybe that should be the way. I think using beds to kill the dragon is way less fun than actually going in and doing it yourself. However, this is a weird parity difference between Bedrock and Java in the way that beds will damage the dragon. They have a maximum amount they'll deal on Bedrock, but not on Java. Why is that the case? Is parity just abandoned as far as beds are concerned? Because I personally do think that speedrunning would be much more interesting if everyone had to kill the dragon and not just Bedrock players, or if you just want to go the other way and be like, also look, the bed didn't even explode that time. What even happened? But yeah, the fact that with full Netherite armor, I can still almost be dead after dealing that amount of damage, just goes to show why every Bedrock speedrunner will just physically go and attack the dragon using a sword. It's worth mentioning while we're here, also, because I think Minecraft Bedrock needs to be fixed, but there are lots of bugs that are actually useful for Bedrock speedrunners. I mean, if you attack the dragon while she's on the way into the tower, like that, you can deal double as much damage to her. That is surprisingly useful. The way the end acid isn't dealing as much damage as the way it knocks you back is very bizarre and actually beneficial. I will admit right now that there are things that benefit the speedrunners. There are things that benefit every single player, like try and tell me you've never used any form of bug, even unintentionally, that's helped you out in any game, and I guarantee you that's not true. But when bugs hurt you, when bugs when something that you expect to happen doesn't happen because of Minecraft bugs, that's very frustrating for anyone, I think it goes without saying. And yeah, just long story short, Minecraft Bedrock, it's inconsistent, and that's a bad thing for speedrunning, and it's a bad thing for everyone, because people just want to play their Minecraft, they just want to kill their dragon, and is that so much to ask? I mean, I guess that's your opinion to have, and my opinion not to have. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm going to teleport into the air, and then I'm going to... Oh, that actually just didn't do damage. See, look, useful bug. For some reason, I just didn't take damage when I fell. That's not how full damage works in the slightest. Or at least it's not how it's meant to work. But then if I teleport and I actually use a water bucket, just like that, didn't work. I hit the ground too hard, and then my bed, which wasn't missing or obstructed, is missing or obstructed, and I die. There's just a cacophony of bugs that need to be fixed, especially when it comes to the core progression of Minecraft, and I hope that they're fixed soon. And I made this video to bring attention to those, so hopefully we can see them be fixed, and at the very least, hopefully you can avoid them until they are. I would love to see them fixed, and I hope you enjoyed this video, bringing attention to all of them. And yeah, if you did, like it if you liked it. Share if you really liked it. I'm bad at outros, so just like, I don't know, give me a subscribe, because it's good for you. I think that's how that works, right? Yeah, subscribe because you want to. Not because it boosts my subscriber number, because it boosts your love number for yourself. Okay, thank you for watching, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.